All right, let's do this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard speaks out after release from prison. I don't know anything about this person. Well, I know some things about this person, but not a lot. I know that she was a victim of Munchausen by proxy, had severe, mental health issues. Her mother was basically, keeping her captive. They got a lot of donations as a consequence of that. They got a house. Her mother was poisoning her, keeping her sick. Now, she's popping off because she, had a Hulu series, I guess, right before her release. And it came, I guess, during the time when everyone really got invested. So she's a bit of a legend. Because it seems like her she killed her mom with her psycho boyfriend at the time, who apparently sexually assaulted Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She killed her, and people saw that as a valid kill, which I think it's fine. I mean, the boyfriend killed her, but she also was a complicit in the murder. Anyway, let's watch.
With Gypsy Rose Blanchard. In her first interview after leaving prison for her role in the murder of her mother, she sat down with 2020 anchor Deborah Roberts. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, George. Her dramatic life of tragedy and survival has just captivated so many, especially Gen Zers, in a way that very few have. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who helped kill her mother to escape a life of suffering and abuse, has been the subject of countless media stories and a Hollywood series. Well, now she's a free woman, and she's telling her own story.
I share my story to be a cautionary tale so that the next person that might be in a situation like mine, they don't take the route that I did.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Controversial opinion alert. I'm scared because there are so many, there are so many things that kids see on TikTok that they want to emulate and even fantasize about, mental illnesses that they may have. I'm worried some Zoomer TikToker is going to watch this and be like, oh, I have the same situation, and then kill their parents when their parents have not been doing that at all.
Blanchard is finally tasting the freedom she's long dreamed of. Tell me about the day you stepped out from behind the prison walls.
You don't realize how much you're restricted in prison. I felt like I was in a black and white world and I just stepped into Technicolor. It was amazing.
Her world shifting after spending nearly 9 years in prison for helping plot the murder of her own mother. Gypsy, a victim of her mother's psychological disorder, commonly known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, in which parents seek sympathy through the exaggerated or made-up illnesses of their children. Since childhood, Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, portrayed her daughter as frail, disabled, suffering from multiple illnesses, including leukemia and muscular dystrophy, subjecting the girl to life in a wheelchair, a feeding tube, and unnecessary surgeries, even having some of her teeth removed. It was all a lie. When you look at these pictures now of Gypsy Rose, what do you think now?
I don't even associate with that little girl.
Oh, that's a brain dead take? That's like a 90s parent crying about blood in Mortal Kombat? Yeah, you're right. I'm so wrong. TikTok certainly doesn't have the capacity to create dangerous challenges. People who definitely go out and buy a bunch of ridiculous things that they see because it's popping on TikTok. To kill their parents, I'm just saying, it happened.
Girl anymore.
Do you recognize her?
I don't. I know that it's me, but at the same time, that isn't me anymore.
Your mom has been portrayed as a monster.
I don't believe my mother was a monster. She had a lot of demons herself that she was struggling with.
Yeah, Cheddar acting like the Blue Whale Challenge never existed. It's all good.
I didn't want her dead.
I agree. And shooting random pedestrians in GTA builds serial murderers. No, there's a very real difference between something in the real world motivating people to do the same thing in the real world versus a video game that motivates people to be violent in the real world. There is no evidence for the second thing, video games motivating people to be more violent in the real world. But there's certainly evidence for the first thing, people seeing something and then repeating it in the real world. People seeing something in the real world and doing it in the real world. Bro, that doesn't happen. The things that we just brought up, like the blue whale stuff, is real. That did happen. What are you talking about? I'm not talking about art motivating people to do stuff, but copycats exist. There are real reasons as to why, for example, people don't cover all the gruesome details of murders when they are happening. Why? Because people do copycat murders. I don't know why we're acting like a concept as old as the printing press itself is now somehow a new revelation.
I just wanted out of my situation, and I thought that that was the only way out.
In 2015, Gypsy says she reached a breaking point and plotted with a boyfriend she met online, Nicholas Godejohn, to kill her mother. Gypsy would later plead guilty to second-degree murder. Godejohn was convicted of carrying out the stabbing death and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Is it fair?
The Blue Whale channel was shown to be a fraudulent story that showed causal links where none existed. There was no evidence of any of the other claimed incidences being caused outside of influence. Okay, copycat murders are still real, though. All right, let's continue.
Fair that he is incarcerated for life for killing your mom and you're out?
Well, I'm sure that we both have a lot of regrets. All I can really say is that I did my...
No, that's not how it works, okay? He was like extra crazy, had priors, totally valid, I think, as far as I understand, for him to be in prison and not be able to get out. You know what I mean? I just read about the blue whale now. From seeing, it seems like a ghost story is being used to link unrelated suicides. Do you know any confirmed accounts of it? No, I just remember. I remember reading about it and believing it. It can totally be one of those like old internet legends. That part is totally valid. It still doesn't change the reality that yes, people do see things in the real world and want to repeat them. And I think people are still jumping on the blue whale thing over and over again. Like this person. Copycat murders existed before TikTok, though. Exactly. Yes. And I think people are just trying to, like, jump down my throat. To be like, oh, dude, like, I got you. But then you also made my point for me. I never said TikTok is the exclusive reason as to why people do stupid things that they see. TikTok certainly does, alongside many of the other social medias, have a tendency to exacerbate the things that you, like, exacerbate the worst aspects of our harmful behavior.
My time. He's doing his time for his part. And I wish him well on his journey.
During her prison stay, public fascination with Gypsy exploded. Her story portrayed in multiple documentaries and a drama series, The Act.
I'm so trapped.
Yeah, by the way, I never was saying that like there's gonna be a massive amount of people who think that they're that have Munchausen by proxy and killed their parents. I'm simply saying that this could absolutely lead to a copycat thing that I worry about, but could also not.
And I can't tell anyone.
Gypsy now sharing unscripted personal details about her past in a Lifetime docuseries, The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
You say that you were addicted to painkillers. Mm-hmm. How serious was this addiction?
You know, this is really hard to talk about because it took me down a really dark path. But I felt like it was my only way to cope for a time.
So when you made this decision to take part in the killing of your mom, were you high?
Yes, I was.
And do you blame that for your decision?
No. I don't blame drugs. I don't blame anything. I don't make excuses.
And now?
And now I'm sober. Now I haven't used in 4 years, and I don't feel the need to.
Hey everyone, this is Gypsy. I'm finally free.
Her journey sparking a cult-like following online.
Do you feel any conflict with that? You've got fame, even though you participated in a murder?
Of course I feel conflicted. Fame is not what I'm looking for. I always said I think I'm infamous, and then I came out famous.
You've had shots of your selfie out of prison. You've commented on your love life. Are you enjoying the attention?
Honestly, I'm a very shy person. I don't think that I'm doing anything that anybody else wouldn't do. I'm being myself.
Ryan Anderson, her new husband who wrote Gypsy in prison, was waiting outside the prison doors after his wife's release.
Oh, I missed you.
I miss you too.
But you're really together physically for the first time.
Yes.
We call it newly together weds.
What are your plans? Do you want to have children?
We've talked about starting a family. We just don't know when at this point. Our lives are pretty hectic right now.
So this is your happily ever after, the gal who liked being a princess.
It is, yeah. I had to kiss a couple frogs to get to this one. Handsome face.
Murderous frogs. What the hell? Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We don't owe anyone anything. They jealous because you are rocking my world every night. ... Yeah, I said it. The D is fire.